Hello, hello. Just checking all the settings are working. Hi, good evening, everybody. Welcome to my channel. It's Ruth here at artfulstampin.co.uk. Great to see you all. Hello, Elaine. Hi, Pamela. Hi, Martina, Deb, Valerie. Valerie and Valerie. Sitting together. I like it. Hi, Elaine. Hi, Sally, Joe, Melissa, Patricia. Lovely to see you all. Okay, I'm afraid I don't have anything super planned. But I do have a desk with some scraps on it because I've been prepping for a class. Hi, Gina. So I thought I'd just use that and try and use the more just the kind of generic pattern side to create something. Not quite sure what yet. I will have a quick look though to see if there's anything on my shelf that I haven't used yet. Hello, Hope Wilkes. Nice to see you. Welcome if you've not been before. Hello. That's not a name I recognise, so great to see you. I love winging it. Oh, good. Good. Really winging it. Let me just have a quick look. Could use the bee. Actually, I'll tell you what I haven't done is I haven't used my new label punch. It'd be quite nice to put the bee on a label and then have maybe patterned paper behind it. Could do that. Okay, I'm just grabbing out Rays of Light and Stitchery. We'll see what we can do with those. All right. Definitely on the fly. On the fly and on the bee. So we'll see what happens. There we go. Right, well apparently it's supposed to be getting quite cold here in the next day or so. And snow is possibly forecast, so So I was thinking of doing something slightly patchwork style. Let's sort my camera out. There we go. That's better. Hi, Miss Shaz. Hi, Elaine. Sorry, not Elaine. Vicky. Hi, Vicky. Hi, Paula. We Germans say we shake something out of the sleeve, and I have to say, Ruth, you have cornucopia sleeves. I am definitely going to be shaking it out of the sleeve tonight. All right. Not quite sure what I'm doing here. What am I doing? Right, I'm going to cut this so that I know I've got a matting layer. I'll cut two of these, I think. Just so happened I had this piece of Night of Navy just hanging about, so that was useful. The Night of Navy makes a nice kind of base to work on, especially when you've got colourful kind of patterns like this. So I've got a class coming up in next week using the Petal Park bundle, and so I've been using some of the papers from Petal Park to actually create some card kits. And I made a bit of a boo-boo this afternoon. I shouldn't have cut this into pieces, but I ended up cutting that into pieces. So I've got all these bits to use up. So might revisit the one that I did last week. And then I've got all these kind of bits and bobs. And I thought of doing, I know some of you out there are quilters, the log cabin kind of technique. I think don't you start with a square or something, and then you then sort of start building up, and then you can, you know, do that, and then you put another one across there. And should I try doing that? May as well try. Do I need a new glue though? I think I might be at the point where I need to grab a new glue. I might just do it. Oh, there's a nice stripe there. I need a pokey thing. I need a pokey thing. Oh, it started coming out. Okay, fine. You're going to be cantankerous. Probably could do with making sure that this is straight. You know what, let's go up to there. Do that, there we go. Let's do that. There we go. Start straight. Oh, and that glue's coming out now. So I think you do this. This is completely on the fly, trying to remember what the log cabin patchwork technique is like. I might start it there. I think it's like that. I'll do that. So then I'm going to do another panel across there. Now I didn't see if these are the same size. Alright, so let's just make sure that's the same as that. Okay, yes it is. Right, so then I need to cut this a little bit longer. Where's Jan when you need her? Where are all my quilt making friends? So I'm going to line this one up with that straight line across there. So you do need to have them the similar width, really. Is that similar width to that? Oh, that'll do. Then that one's going to go across there. Is that in the way? You can see that. That's how you do it. Says Sherry. Hello, Miss Sherry. Nice to see you. What have I got here? Ooh. Yay. It works. Right, now I need to do the old nail technique. Make sure I cut that straight. Put that on there. Yay! I probably didn't actually need to cut that piece of Night of Navy, did I? Because I'm probably going to have to cut it down in a minute. Alright, so what else have I got? I've not used this piece. So I think that goes there. Oh, I watched... Is Janice on here? Has Janice popped in yet? I need to tell her something. I saw Janice. If you don't follow Janice and you like seeing swap haul videos, I noticed that she shared her swaps from being away at her crafting get together. So if you do like that kind of thing, she's done a video this afternoon. I think I'm going to stick that on there because we've got a bit of yellow there, so that's quite nice. It pulls it all together, doesn't it? Elaine hasn't quilted for a long time. Hello, Barb. How are you, my lovely? So I'm trying to kind of keep the colours similar-ish. I might just flip that and do that across there. Oh, that's good to hear, Shaz. Right, and then we need one last one to go here. Oh no, what am I doing? Stick that there. I think I might just turn this into a square card, actually. I mean, people don't need to know that I didn't get the cardstock all the way across that. It's just a foundation, really. I've just realised I need to cut that section off, don't I? Oh, I quite like that. I think I might even run that through an embossing folder. Do a Martina. Sort of thing Martina would do. Right, so I'm going to just trim that there. That doesn't really need that trimming, but that section there. Ooh, close, but okay. Alright, I'm just going to clean up the track of my trimmer, because look, see what happens? You get, look at that. So it's worth cleaning it every so often, because it does clog it up and then it doesn't cut as nice, because all the fibres like to go inside the track. So that trim. There we go. Right, there's a little bit that insists on keep curling up, so I'm just going to put a little blob of glue there. So, embossing folder. Oh, could go with a wood grain. I've just realised this isn't actually square, because I started with a rectangular piece of paper, didn't I? Oops. So it's going to be rather odd, either an odd size card, or I'm going to cut it down to a square. We'll see. We'll see. Right, so this is a 3D embossing folder, so I need the #1 plate, my embossing folder, the other way around. Or you should always put the fold through first, and then the grey plate. Oh, sorry to hear that, Barb. Hi, Glenn. Hi, Jane. Oh, it's nice, isn't it? And it sort of brings it all together. It's a really useful technique to pass it through your machine, if you have one, when you do this kind of patchworky stuff. It just kind of pulls it all nicely together. And not necessarily always with an embossing folder. If you just want to give it a bit of a squish, sometimes that helps. So, right. So I want a focal point now. And I was wondering whether to maybe do like stamp a bee onto something. Could do a so I'm having a think. Having a wee think. I wonder if I stamped that on there. Put one behind it. Have a little double tag. And then I stamp the bee. No, wrong one. Oh, Ruth. Just had it. Oh, I just covered it up. That's why. Right, there we go. So I was thinking of doing some paper piecing. So I'm going to stamp the bee onto there, but I'm also going to stamp it onto something else, maybe that, and I could cut out the body and stick it on top. So I'm going to use Night of Navy, I think. Right, Ruth, sit down. Just pick up my pen before I squish it. Oh, now the lid's come off it. What? Okay. Even chicken soup causes nausea. Oh no! Oh, gosh, Bob. That doesn't sound very nice at all. Is it Dior that's had a bee as their symbol recently? This does remind me of that bee. I'm going to stamp it on several things just to test it out. Then I can choose which is the better one. Oh yes, ginger ale for if you're feeling sick. Yeah. Or just fresh ginger in hot water. I quite like. Right, I think we could have a yellow body. Oh God, I'm concentrating. It's all gone very quiet. I feel like I should have elevator music playing while I do this. Ding 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 ding. There we go. My little bee has now a yellow body, and it could have some little pale wings. We could have white wings. Oh well, no, I think I may as well go for this, seeing as I've stamped it already. So if I cut out that there, then hop over and cut that one out. Oh, can anyone tell me their favourite elevator music? Who remembers, I know we've talked about this before, but who remembers Kenny G? What was that one that was really famous? It went like that, didn't it? I wonder if I can find it. I'll probably get demonetized for playing it, so I'm just going to see if I can find it so I can hear it. You're so stressed, you're eating too much. Oh, bless you. Glenna does. Swan Lake on my GPS phone. I can play sort of old music that there's no copyright for. Hold on, I've just got to find a Kenny G to just get me started on the tune. Kenny G. Top tracks. How could an angel break my heart? Oh no. Songbird. That was it. Will it play for me? You going to play for me? Hello, Canwell DIY Craft. Welcome. Oh, here it is. I was going to play it too. Otherwise I'm going to get demonetized. Right, dimensionals. Now this is going to be very... No, actually I'm not going to go with the dimensionals because to stick those wings on, it's going to be so tricky. Right. Can you drink any of those protein shake things, Bob? It's one of those tunes, like you kind of know it, but it's actually really hard to sing. You just randomly clicked. Oh, well, welcome. Wow. What do you like making, Canwell Craft? You're very welcome here. We're a very friendly group of stampers and paper crafters in this chat on this channel. We love getting to know new folks. So I've basically been, so for those of you who've just joined, we're making a card, but I was prepping for a card class and I just got all these scraps on my desk. So I've just made this kind of like patchwork effect base. And now I'm making a little tag that I'd like to stick on to my card somewhere. Not quite sure where though, because I want to kind of show a little bit of that floral, but I'm not bothered about showing too much of it off. And now I've done that, I'm thinking that could do with a bit of a emboss. Let's see what I've got. Oh, I could do the basket weave over it, couldn't I? That might be nice. Right, so I've got an embossing folder here. I'm just going to put it through my machine without bringing it to the table. All right, okay, that gives it a nice bit of kind of texture there. Then I just think a little bit of ink, we need to put that around it. I never would have thought that to do that to the bee. Oh, Vanessa, hey. This is what happens when I get glue on things. Nice to see you. Yes, I could have done the wings with vellum. The only thing is that trying to get vellum to stick and whatever is just... But yeah, feel free to do that. I just had these scrap bits here that I'd stamped on, so I just thought I'd use those. So I just want to edge my tag. Don't want to do too much near the bee. Just highlight it a little bit more by creating this vignette effect around the edge of the tag. I think I want to go in a bit deeper. I'm just going to dip the tag in the ink like that. And then I was going to kind of secure it onto that one. Get it on that way. I feel like it's getting a bit lost, to be honest. I don't know whether just to go for something, have it on something else. Something with a higher contrast and use that for something different. What I could do is use that other panel of the Night of Navy and just do some strips across here in the blues. Sorry, it's not that I'm not going to do anything with this, it's just that I just feel that that's so detailed, it's kind of like jarring with that, and it doesn't need to jar. That is kind of beautiful on its own, really. So instead what I'm going to do is do some sticks and strips across here, and then we've got this section to be a contrast against the label. Right, so to set that aside a second. So I'm basically working on 2 cards in one go. Right, so let's pop some glue across here. I've got various kind of pieces that I can stick. I even had some very fine strips. Can be stuck on. And of course that's going across there, so it doesn't need to reach all the way. So when you've prepped for a project and you've got lots of pieces left over that are of a similar design, it's worth just having a play with using them up like this, because you may as well before binning them. Trying to find a leafy section. That's a leafy section, isn't it? Ooh, a bit of that. I'm from Pakistan, but many years I'm living in Germany. Ah, cool. What language do you speak, Kanwal? Do you speak Urdu? Hindi? Because if you speak Urdu, I'll show off my my one phrase that I can say. So are you a stamper, paper crafter, Kanwal? Yeah, oh, Caroline, yes, a lot of people have had that problem. Yeah. Kenny G has a Guinness Book record for playing the longest note ever. Oh, bless him. What a sweetie. Right, it's getting tricky now, getting to this bit. Oh wow, that is pretty impressive. Canwell. Well, the only line I know, kinda, is Mera naam Ruth hai. I don't know if I pronounced that properly, but there we go. That's the extent of my Urdu. Sorry, I'm just trying to get in here to cut this off. Oh, and I think I can say 1, 2, 3. Is it Egdodin? Is that 1, 2, 3? I make different types of craft. Basically, long story short, anything which comes in the diameter of creativity I love to do. Oh, cool. Well, most people on this channel do more than card making. They do other things as well. So yeah, I don't just do paper crafts personally. This is my kind of my job type crafting. But I have done crochet, knitting, tatting, dabble in all kinds of things, painting. But we love meeting people from all around the place. Hello Pam, not sure what I'm doing, just loaded Ruth on the TV. My iPad and the TV not streaming on the same. Oh, okay. Hi Super Sanders. Andrea. Right, there we go. I've done that. So, oh, I've still got bits stick. I'm going to throw that away now because that piece keeps sticking. So that's created my little panel that I wanted for here. Oh, I just got to trim that down. Actually, I think I'll trim the top bit. That's a bit big, isn't it? I'm just going to trim this down to 14.5 because that's what that... Oh no, 14. That's what I need. 14. Well, if you live in Germany, Canwell, I'm not just saying this just for you, but I'm saying this for anybody that lives in Germany, France, Austria, the Netherlands, Belgium, Ireland and the UK. All the products you see me using today you can order from my online shop, because I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator, so you can order any of these. Apart from, I think that paper was in there was a special offer on in January and February, and that was in the special offer, but that's now gone. So, right, I'm going to stick that on that to create a bit of just a bit of interest, and then I'm going to punch a hole in that. Now, what colour base should I go for? I'll just go for plain white. What about a nice yellow ribbon? I've got a little bit of that gingham, that bumblebee gingham colour. Grab my crop-a-dile to make a hole. So I think this is retired as well, this ribbon, but I like it so much that I've been trying to use it up. Okay, so for those who've just joined, I hope you understand why I decided to go with this design. I just felt that by sticking that, which has got so much beautiful detail on it, by sticking that onto a patterned background, you're kind of going to lose it. So whenever you plan or start making a card and you think, oh yeah, I'll make this, make that, da, 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 and you put it together, if it doesn't work, just think, what is it that it needs? What do I need to do to highlight whatever it is that I've made? And if you find that it's jarring against, you know, the background, which is what I found, just create 2 cards, because I'd rather create 2 cards that work than 1 card that doesn't work, if that makes sense. Hope that makes sense to you. Tatting. Oh, tatting is a form of lace making with a shuttle and a thread, and my mother taught me how to do it. She's very good at it. To this day, she still does it. So I quite often like doing white as a base because it just highlights things nicely, a bit like black cardstock really. But when you've got quite dark colours, obviously black wouldn't look great. So this glue is just wanting to go all over me today. Now I have got earlier. I was thinking that I've got a sentiment that will fit really nicely in there from the Sentimental Park stamp set. Oh, sure, I've seen it today. It's been out on my desk. Here it is. Okay, so this stamp set has some really nice, very thin sentiments. So I'm thinking just happy birthday stamped in white onto that green would look amazing. So I'm going to use my white ink pad. Oh, they have 4 babies coming to you. Oh, fantastic. Oh, look, there's my mother there. Trice, that's my mother. She heard me talking about her, obviously, and she's come on. Came in late, but enjoyed all the chats. Oh, there's my mommy. Right, I'm just going to test it out, because when you use the white ink pad, you have to just dab, 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 make sure the ink is really kind of soaked in. Yeah, that's not too bad, is it? I think I could go a little bit darker. Not darker, lighter, but just put a bit more ink. And the other thing I would say is when you're using small sentiments like this that are very fine, don't over push your stamp into the cardstock because it distorts it. So, oh, you know what? I'm going to open that up. Makes it much easier. Right, I don't know why my phone is insisting on swiveling over tonight. Right. Move you there. I'm going to tilt you slightly so that, there we go. We can see what I'm doing then. So I'm trying not to push too hard, because if you push too hard, it will squish them. So there we go. Oh yes, do visit again, Koa. I know it's late for you because you're an hour ahead, But yeah, please do visit again. And if you'd like to sort of get to know a few more people in the Artful Stampin community, please do head to my Facebook group, Artful Stampin Space. Answer the questions there, and yeah, be ready to have fun. Oh, no, Mum. That's beautiful. When I throw bits together, it just looks like bits and pieces. Oh, thank you, Patricia. Right, well, the tip to making it not look like what you just described, or being more happier with it, is use scraps that are kind of maybe together on the colour wheel. So here we've got, you know, a whole heap of just blues and greens that I've put together, but then got the contrast of this coral, but then got the blue and the peach there, and the blues then pulling from over there, and then we've got this lovely contrast of stripe, 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 and then a whole different type of pattern on this side. Now, if I was kind of like maybe designing this from scratch, I perhaps wouldn't have gone for this paper, but it was just because I had it spare, because I'd cut it wrong today, so I used it. So it's not really my first choice of paper, but it's fine. I've made it work. All right, so now I've got this piece that I want to create something with, and I think I might actually just trim it down and mount it onto a piece of cardstock, just to make life a bit easier for me. Get a balmy blue, because there's quite a bit of balmy blue in this card, so I guess I could even stick that on and then stick another piece across there and there to finish it off. Oh, although it's not mounted. Maybe not then. Okay, let's make this a little bit shorter. I'm going to cut that down to 14 centimetres. Then cut this down to 13 by 10.5. 13 by 9.5. So I want this to be 8.5. So I'm just going to figure out where that is. If I do that down there. Sorry, I'm not talking much. My brain is just trying to do the maths. 8.5 by, there we go. And then this has got to measure, what did I do that to? 13, 12.5. So, oh, not far off. Okay, so I just need to take basically a slither off both edges. Oh, no, it's not happy with that. Okay. That. 12.5. Hi, Janice. I never tried making cards, but today randomly I've got a class to. Oh, okay, yes. Well, you can make cards out of anything, really. Any kind of paper and scraps, and you know. So you don't necessarily have to use what I'm using. Just trying to. Oh, I've not done that properly, have I? I need to move that over. For some reason, I cut that to the wrong size. Oh well. It's alright. It's all fixable. Oh, Janice, I was thinking of you yesterday. I watched a film on Apple TV that was set in New Orleans. And I did wonder, you know, when we went on that bus tour, they said that we passed some filming, didn't we? I did wonder if it was what I saw last night. It's a film called Causeway, and it's got Jennifer, oh, the one that was in Hunger Games. She's in it. It was really good. Oh, yes. We've got snow coming as well. I wonder if that's that same cold wind that's going to be coming through. Right. I quite like that. I just feel it needs a sentiment, and then I think that will be done. Oh, look, I've even got a spare happy birthday here. I could probably just fit that in there and be done with it. Although I'd like to stamp it again. I could stamp it better. If you want your words to show up even brighter, and you've got white embossing powder, I recommend that also. This is just a bit of a quick, cheap way of doing it. I pushed a bit too hard on the happy. I love a bit of happy, but not that much. Be so gentle with these fine fonts. That's better. But even then, I pressed a bit much on the happy. I think this could be a masculine or feminine card, really, because you've got elements of the both here. Right, I'm going to do the old thumbnail trick. Tell me where to cut. Oh, hello. Sorry, yes, I live in Wales, mid Wales. I'm in the UK. Hi, Shirley. Oh, bless you. Oh, get better soon. Thank you, Susan. Yes, Jennifer Lawrence. Yeah, it's really very sweet film. If anyone, I don't know, I'll tell you the synopsis, and then you can decide whether you want to watch it or not. So it's about a lady who's was injured in Afghanistan, so she has to come home to rehabilitate, and then ends up going to back to live with her mum in New Orleans. Well, it's kind of basically about her kind of coming to terms with her injuries and the impact of that on her life, and then kind of facing up to her life as a, you know, her childhood and family, and then trying to make new friends. And it was just a really, yeah, Tom ended up sitting and watching it with me, because we both quite enjoy films where perhaps there's a focus on one relationship and kind of how that works out, and the dialogue, if the dialogue's quite good, but also they sort of drive through New Orleans, and so it was really nice to see the trees and I think some of it must have been set in the posher part, like in the Garden District, because I don't want to give away what she, you know, the story, but yeah, I think some of it might have been set there. And then they went for snow cones somewhere, and I was like, oh my goodness, if I ever go back to No Lies, I want to go and get one of those. So I was going to Google it to see if that place actually existed. It looked quite authentic. So there we go. Hi, Carla. Yeah, so if you want to watch the film, it's called Causeway. featuring Jennifer Lawrence, and I can't remember the name of the other actor. It's basically her and this gentleman. And I can't remember his name. I wasn't actually familiar with him as an actor, actually, but he was very good. Right. I think what was the time? I think I'm going to stop there. I know it's a bit early for me, but I can't, my brain's not kind of got the ideas at the moment. So, but I hope seeing me do these techniques will help you sort of use up some of your stash. I know some of you have got quite a few scraps. So I'll just go over this technique again. Oh, this phone just keeps flipping over. What is wrong with you? Oh, I know. I've seen it now. I've seen what's happened. There's a fine balance on my little pivoty thing. Right, there we go. I think that's better. It just keeps like shifting. Right, so this was trying to do a paper log cabin technique. So I started with that panel, that piece in the middle, which really should have been a square if I wanted it to end up square, but anyway, went with it. And so I stuck pieces and kept adding and adding and adding with. So the only trick is that when you do any level layer, like that's 1, this is 2, this is 3, you've got to make sure that these pieces are the same width. So the measurement between across here has got to be the same for it to work. And yeah, so don't remember ever trying this technique, and it was quite fun to do. And I've clearly got glue all over the place there. Where's my goober thing? My phone also annoys you when you make videos. Oh, I have to go and I'll check out your channel afterwards. Let me see if I can get to it easily. Go to channel. There we go. Go to channel. Oh. There we go. That's Canwell's channel. I'll subscribe. Oh, you make some really cute things. Let me just share your channel out so if anyone wants to go watch you. There we go. Hi. Oh, sorry, I said hello to Super Sanders. Oh, Caroline. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. Oh, how are you feeling? Caroline was in Wales last week and she's obviously gone home poorly. Oh, I'm so sorry. Funny enough, actually, my friend who lives in Chester, she had COVID last week. So I wonder if it's just kind of going around the whole Chester area. Okay, so let me just recap then. So yeah, that's the log cabin pattern, if anyone's interested. And I try to go for sort of masculine type things, design. Also for log cabin, you can do light and dark, light on the inside, dark on the outside. Oh, okay. This is what I was doing before you came on, making backgrounds with scraps. I'll be running them through an embossing folder next. Your second card looks a bit like the log cabin square. Yes, this one is the log cabin. That was I actually started doing that one first, Pam. Then I was going to put that on there and realised it was too busy. So then I hopped over to doing this one and then I returned to that one. So it's like they're both 1 and 2. I made both of them at the same time. So this one, I accidentally cut this paper this afternoon. It was meant to stay as a rectangle, but in my exuberance to get things prepped, I ended up cutting it. So then I decided to just use up all my little strips, even my teeny weeny little thin strips that I was just, to be honest, they were going to go in the bin. I've used to create this lovely kind of like panel. And I was just looking, I've got a scarf on my chair. Look at this. Look. It was like it was meant to go together. So there we go. Oops, sorry. And then I stamped with the white ink. Oh, I've got a new white ink, everybody. I've not inked it up yet, but I did buy one because I realised that when you order this ink, it looks like this, not this. So I thought it's about time I got myself a new one. So when you get this ink, it comes uninked, and a lot of people go, oh, I don't know if I'm doing it right or whatever. Basically, you need to put about a quarter of the bottle on, and quite a lot. So I know what, I'll ink it up in front of you so you can see. And then hopefully you guys will love the dainty sentiment strip. It is cute, isn't it? Right, so I've got to do the sniff test. It literally smells of nothing. Not even plastic. Nothing. Probably shouldn't have stuffed my nose in it, but never mind. Right, so when you're inking up for the first time, you need to put a lot of this stuff on. You see? Just keep squeezing. It's like icing, isn't it? It's very thick. Right, then I'm going to get myself a wee block. Glue just fell against there. And then I'm just going to help it along by pushing this ink into the pad. And it's very sticky ink. Okay. So you can see that's barely really touched the surface of it. Just got to keep going. I should have said ASMR. You want to see the video channel? Oh, I thought I shared it. Did I share it? I'll share it again. There we go. Hi, Miss. You have to squeeze until it feels your fingers are going to fall off. Yep. If you do the whole ketchup trick, you know, when you like tap it first before squeezing, that helps. So you're not having to squeeze as much. This feels like a very special moment between us all. I don't think I've ever inked a white ink pad in my life. And I'm sharing this moment with all 60 of you. I hope you know how much this means to me. I hope you feel special too, everybody. No, I wouldn't stick my nose in the inky one. Is it it's the same technique for all of them, yeah, Caroline, but all the coloured ones comes, you know, as you know, they come already inked. But yeah, you don't need to put as much as this though. This is because it's the first time I've ever inked it up, so you have to put a lot on. Right. I suggest ordering 2 white coffee inkers the first time round. Okay, so when you order this for the first time, you get 1 re-inker and 1 uninked ink pad. So what Glenn is suggesting is that you order another re-inker at the same time. Well, I'm going to give this a little test now. I mean, I've given it, what, 3 or 4 coats, haven't I? So let's test it out with... this stamp here. So when you ink up for the first time with white ink, every time you do this with your whatever stamp you're using, I suggest you need to tap 20 times. So you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Then you look at it and you go, is that design properly covered with white ink? And you might just go a few more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Why doesn't it come all inked? I am not sure, Jill. I'm not sure if they were having problems with inking it at the factory. I've got no idea. I'm just making up ideas here. So I'm not going to say I don't know. There we go. Beautiful. Oh, look at me. I'm making a pretty background. I'm almost making another card. Cute as that. I think I might just cut that off and use it. Actually, let me just measure. I'll cut off at 8. All right, so it takes longer to dry this stuff, so I should ideally not touch it for overnight. Ew. Ew, it's a bit manky. There we go. Uh-oh, Ruth's starting to make another card. This is like patchworking from the random from the inside out. There we go. That can go there. Anyway, you catch my drift. You can start having a panel there and then just keep adding and adding layers until you're happy. I don't actually want to handle this too much because it's still drying, but there we go. Does that mean white ink pad won't last as long if it dries out? Hold on, you're making two statements there. What? It has something to do with it being craft ink. It might dry out because the white ink dries out quicker than the colours. Well, no, the irony is it actually takes longer for it to dry because it's a very different, it's a pigment. No, it's not. Yes, it is. This is a pigment ink. It works differently. It sits on top of the paper rather than soaking in. So I don't know. I really don't know. Can you use embossing powder with the white ink? Yes, you can. And because it dries slower, yeah, you could do that. So let me see if I can understand Caroline's question. White ink pad won't last as long. Well, this is the first white ink pad that I bought over 10 years ago, and I'm still using it. So I just kept re-inking it. Now the texture is slightly different, I have to say. That's why I really wanted the new one. But this is my original one that I've used and used and used and used. and it's still going strong. So the white inking looks like a virus string. Yeah. I think I could just make videos of doing this and people would just sit and watch it. It's very relaxing. Yeah, you definitely could do that, Melissa. The other thing you could do is, if you want them on a felt pad, not the uninked spots, is you could buy, I don't know if you can pick up secondhand ink pads, or even buy a new big ink pad and just re-ink it, or wash it out and re-ink it. But yeah, no, I've got the ink spots. They're brilliant for that kind of thing. Just keep any ink pad inked. Oh yes, yeah, definitely. Just make sure, yeah, you keep any ink pads inked. I still have 10 plus years of white ink pad too. Oh, there we go. I like the little ink spots for colours I don't use very often. Ah, okay. Good idea. Oh, well, I feel like I've grown up. I've got to put my sticker on. So, also, big tip, on the back of the ink pads when they arrive, you have a sheet of stickers. And so what you need to do is you need to, where there's a little arrowy thing, you pull that back and then you can get to. So they're available in the different languages. So you just choose whichever language you want. And then A. So that's there's a little dot there. So I tend to aim, that's the middle. So I use 2 fingers, or 2 hands rather, to position it. There we go. Now why you wouldn't, now the other ink pads, you put the colour on the inside. There's a little lip there, you can put a sticker, but obviously I'm not going to do that because the sticker is black. So yeah, I suppose I could put blanc there, couldn't I? But anyway, there we go. Oh, well, thank you for holding my hand through that, everybody, for my initiation into the white ink pad inking. I do love using it. I should also say that some of the inks I have, the big ink pads, are no longer available. Ah, yeah. Right, everyone, lovely to see you all. Thank you so much for joining. Hope you've enjoyed this evening's little class. And I'll see you guys again soon. Take care for now, everyone. If you've got any questions about what you've seen me do, please do just email me, ruthtrice@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. And I've got to sort out my weird thing that's happening here. There we go. Pop that there, pop that there. There we go. Right. I think I caught all the questions, or Ruth, someone said Ruth what? Oh yes, I read that one. Right, thank you everyone for coming, and hopefully see you again soon. So if you're new tonight, thank you so much as well, and catch you again. So I try and go live every weekday night, and if you want a notification and you have WhatsApp, please email me your phone number and I can sort out you getting a broadcast notification. All right, lots of love everyone. Bye.